we are doing is we'll
Hmm.
start with this, and then
Okay.
I'll start asking you questions. So where's your paper? Your side पड़ा है?
Hmm.
ये
Yeah. Okay.
your base and your paper.
ठीक है.
So we'll start from the top.
Hmm.
We'll draw something.
ठीक है.
वो हम fold कर देंगे,
Hmm.
and then we'll exchange papers.
Done.
Okay. So I will not look at what you are making.
ठीक है.
So hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good.
Can you introduce yourself?
I am Ashutosh Gupta, born and brought up in Delhi, and I run a creative marketing agency by the name BYOND.
Okay. Why is it called Beyond?
Okay, the idea was always to deliver more than expected. So while working with brands, because brands is more or less their dreams, right? It's people's dream what they put into hard work and time and energy. So I realized that always giving, delivering more than expected will. So we want to become a part of the brand where we have always given our best, right? Because marketing is an aspect where there's no saturation, right? Dreams can't be saturated. You can't term marketing in an umbrella where let's do social media. A brand development and marketing goes hand in hand, right? So yeah, the whole idea of giving beyond the name beyond was to exceed the limits and exceed expectations and deliver way far than any of our clients or brands we're working with expect us to.
So it has been 4 years since you've been running.
Yes, started in 2019.
And in these 4 years, how do you think you have come to know more about Beyond?
We've learned a lot. I think it's a journey where, so I've always thought it off that I don't have an experience of 4 years. It's all learning of 4 years, right? So there have been flaws within us as an institution, and nothing has been as perfect, right? There has been bumps, but it's been a lot of learnings. So as to say, we have tried to understand the psychology behind people. So I have always tried and focus on people in the sense that to understand business, you need to understand people, right? So if when these are the terms which we use, target audience. Who is a target audience? It's people, no? So whenever we are thinking of, okay, let's target this for this particular product via this medium, we are always talking in terms of let's target these people who are interested in these things, and and then these are the people who you should talk to. Marketing is communication, because apparently there is, however good a product or service is, you won't be able to reach out unless you don't reach out to these people. You won't get to a point where you get give an introduction to this product or service you want to sell. So let's say Tavishi is someone who's looking for home decor products, right? For home decor products, she has limited options. She might go to a Sarojini, she might go to a home center in the nearest mall nearby. And I am working with this particular brand who's selling home decor, right? Until unless I don't pass this message or show this brand to Tavishi now via whatever medium it is, it's not possible for Tavishi to sitting at her home and realize ki okay, yes, XYZ, this brand is producing these home decor products. Let's say a brand like Local Nation, they're doing everything from these artisans from tier 3 villages. These are the people who are making these raw, let's say, candles or diyas. Now they are great at doing this. They are passing this message, and also the good deed behind it is that they are helping these artisans far away selling their product at a better price to people in the cities, right? So this is their narration. Now as marketeers, as brand designers, it's our job to portray this narration in a well curated, designed manner. So this is, so to answer your part, what I think, it's all been learning. So what I'm telling you is, it's coming from all those years of working with different brands from different scales, different stories.
So being in this industry for 4 years now, and like you said, you've changed so much and grown so much. What do you think sets you apart from other creative agents?
Um, Sets us apart. I think it's how I have always operated my life, and that is what I try to bring to the agency. Um, it's not about, see, saying it's not about the numbers is also flawed. Eventually, it's a business to be run, right? But at the same time, the only idea is that because you've loved the idea of doing this so much, I have never appreciated to do things for the sake of doing it. To pick up a project because you need projects to be closed, right? Obviously, sales, business development is very important. It's a very important aspect. But at the same time, try and understand that if there would be 5 projects out of 6 projects which you are not interested in, it's just another job. It won't, you please stop calling this as a creative process. You got my point.
Yeah.
The creativity would die, the artist in you would die, and then it's just a 9 to 5 desk job wherein you have no interest with the brand, what their narration, what their story is. Your ears are not ready. Every client call is just a call which you have to, it's a torture which you have to, you have to go through it. Then it's a suffering, no?
Yeah.
That suffering should not be there. That part where you are very much interested in telling their stories via the craft you have in your hand. So let's say Tavishi as a marketeer is someone who likes to narrate stories. Now she has a story to narrate. She has this audience which she thinks is the right set of people to know this story. The medium she chooses is the craft she has, while maybe making those short, beautiful stories, writing a beautiful article, you know, any medium she chooses. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, and similarly for designers, I am, while searching for designers, the idea is never to search a good illustrator, a good Photoshop guy, but the idea is someone who has that soft corner to give his design a vision where he know or she knows that okay, this as a design will reach places, will talk to people.
Good work. Passionate work. Okay. Well, if you had to define beyond as a color, what color would it
I am a very monochromatic guy, so black or white. I'll tell you the reason for that. I, as a someone who's running a creative agency, this is the most I won't say an obnoxious thing to say,
be?
because again, as the first, you being the first one to complain, why are there no colors? But I think, see, the reason I love monochromatic colors, whether it's and being white and black in particular, white and black acts for me as a yes or a no, true or false, right? I really don't like the gray areas that much, right? In any shape or color. But that gray part is very, I won't say a risky thing, but it's the indecisive thing. Doing this for past 4.5 years, I've understood you have to take decisions. If you are indecisive, either if it's with my team, either if it's with my clients, I won't be able to deliver. So that gray area is very risky and won't take you anywhere. Your yes or your no, your black or your white, if taken today, might take years. I don't have a problem. Some people's decision just takes 6 months to click, and for some it might not even take 6 years to click. But if it's a simple yes or a no, and you take a decision, whatever the time is, you will come to an end point which will be fruitful enough. That's what I think. The first and the last thing, all my preachments, all whatever, this is mine. This is very much my personal thought process.
What about if you had to think of beyond as an animal?
Beyond as an animal, that's interesting. There's no every animal is creative in its own ways, but I would say, I would say a polar bear.
Why? That's great, but how?
I'll tell you. hibernation is very important
For creative work.
for anything. For polar bears to remain where they are, in those temperatures, their hibernation is, if their sleep cycles will break, they'll break. And they are creative, dude, at one aspect. I don't know how they survive, but they do.
They manage.
They manage. And I think running a business is 90% managing. It's your survival. If it's being survived for a year or 100 years, I don't know. It's more or less survival. They say it's thriving, hustling. Yeah, but if the survival stops, you won't have that capabilities anymore. Aren't there any times that we have failed? Hundreds. There have been times where we might have taken an 80% decision of let's close the shit in the next coming month.
Really?
Yeah. But it's like any other business.
Yeah.
It's like any other business. As someone who's running a business, if you ask them their deep down dark secrets, they'll tell you that they have done, I won't say blunders, but to keep the baby alive, to keep the team alive, to keep that spirit alive, they've done a tons of work and taken a tons of decisions, and most of them would be flawed.
So in the next coming few years, where do you want BYOND to be?
I am not a fan of planning 5 or 3 years. Today I am a big fan of taking small pocket of timelines and delivering. So I have a plan for the next 6 months right now. For the next 6 months, I want my team well prepared. Now, putting it out on the internet doesn't mean our team is not well prepared or they are not capable of doing stuff. But there's this some things, some fine things in my mind when I say prepared. I want them to act in a very single unit way, right? So that no challenge is big enough. You're prepared enough that you don't have to discuss that, okay, this is interesting, very nice, we would love to do this project, but I don't think we are ready. Because ready is nothing. You are not ready with the... So that dilemma of being ready with stuff, with materials, is not a concept we should consider, or any creative agency should consider. This is like asking a painter, right, are you ready? And he be like, no, I only have these set of colors, I can't afford more. And you judge him by saying, no, then you are a bad artist. If the artist is perfectly fine in his head and creative enough, you give them this crayons or the best of the best paints which you might get, he will deliver with a creative project. You got my point? Yeah. So that sense of readiness I'm looking forward from my team. And then be a creator amongst yourself, be an artist amongst yourself. This is something which I've always said, and I will always like to say again and again. You don't have to compare yourself. You love design, you love design. You don't love design, you don't love design. Don't be compelled by the idea of that because I work in a creative agency, I have to do this. No, you're already working here because you have that particular skill which I like. I like in the sense, you already fulfill your job. You don't have to take unnecessary steps and learn 10 more things to impress someone. That one small skill can take you places. Please start appreciating that skill. You got my point?
Yeah. Okay, so in the next 6 years, how it's thought of, the changes you would like to see inside. How would you want the clients that you're working with, or the people that come across your work, to perceive you? How would you want that to change?
I want BYOND to be a place which brings energy into the company's motive of doing what they are doing. The reason behind, the sun behind it. You got my point?
Life of the person.
Life, exactly. So a team where, let's suppose that brand is not alive anymore in terms of hopes or energy, and doing a great job otherwise, right? So I really don't want to. I feel sad when someone with really good hands at pottery, making beautiful products, end up closing a business because they were not able to do good marketing or put themselves good out today at this in today's age and time, where it's the most important part. We consider this or not. So it feels very bad that that artisan was not able to do business. Why? Because he was not able to put themselves out. So we are that place where when reached out can help them to whatever best of their capability can take. It's really easy to take star from galaxy to galaxy, but it's really difficult to take a stone outside. You got my point, into the space. So that threshold is very important. I don't know if I makes a lot of sense or not, but yeah, you got my point. This is what I think. So a small businessman can reach out to us. We like the project, we'll do it. I think the last thing we have always asked to any of our clients is, what is your budget? That has been the last. Is it not important? Yes, it is. Obviously, budgets are very important to run any show. But if the idea is good, if we really love the approach, how the business has developed, so we would be the first one to say, okay, let's try this for first 3 months. You give us whatever budget you have. We'll love it. We'll do it. We'll give our best shot. And post that, we'll definitely come. Then we'll be the first one to come up and say, okay, now this is the budget we're looking for to work. But at least let's give you a start. Let's see things how work out. Otherwise, then what's the fun of doing the creative job, right?
Yeah.
So the balance is very important.
What is the weirdest client you have worked? We will beep out their names.
Oh God.
As a creative, your experience with people working in this industry, the weirdest client.
See, I would have given you a very simple answer with couple of names, but I'll tell you what. I don't have a problem with even taking names, right? But the thing is that 4.5 years give you a realization that they are not 100% wrong. No client. And trust me, I can tell you weird stories. But I still have and I'm not like saying this for the sake of the camera, or maybe just to put it this way. No, I don't want to take name. Everyone is nice. No, they are not. A lot of times. I have met some of the biggest asses I could have ever imagined to meet. But yeah, eventually, I think it's how people have always reciprocated the idea of money, right? The definition of providing a check to someone is very different for everyone. So for some, it's a simple transaction of a good service in exchange with money, and for some, it's always this favor they are doing us as a service provider. I really don't appreciate that.
Like that arrogance.
That arrogance. I don't like that arrogance. I won't take arrogance. I won't give it my attitude. So that attitude problem should. We are all working as a team. We are always the first thing we put out in the mail is that let's work as a team. Don't consider it as an outside team which is helping you. Let's be a part of your internal whatever that team strength is. We have worked with teams who are just two founders, and also we work with teams who are like 500 people in the company, and we have to incorporate a whole Marcom team with us and then talk to 5 people from one team, just the marketing team. So we have worked with all the scales, but at the same time you could meet some of the biggest asses from those biggest teams and the sweetest people, a couple maybe were trying to build a brand, but the sweetest gesture they could, right? Appreciating people, not taking it as simple transactions.
But even when you're working with these people, does it get hard to explain to them why you want to do something in a certain way?
Yeah.
How do you get past that? Keep your own brand's identity in your work.
So a lot of times, I'm not again complaining, but people doesn't understand that when we say we are doing a particular thing, we definitely take the responsibility of doing it, right? And there is some sense of expertise which me and my team has, and that is the reason we are taking the job. Now taking the job and then making you understand should be the last thing we should be doing, right? Because if we are still stuck in that loop, that why this design works, not this, why this campaign works, why not this, should be the last. Because in first place you trusted us, right? You went through everything. We had a good discussion. We gave us our thoughts on your project. You told us the complete story because, again, we are someone we would like to sit with you for the first 2 days when we're starting a project with you. Understand your story, ask questionnaire, right? And then take the job. So 10 days down the line, if you tell me, okay, not this pink and red, then you are completely losing on the idea that this is our job. Let us do our job and you do yours. We are your friends, we are not your enemies.
हर्षित इसको बंद करना